Hey everyone! Welcome back to Fluent English Podcast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Emma. How's it going, Alex?
Pretty good. I actually had a really interesting week. I tried making homemade pizza for the first time.
Oh, wow. How did that go?
Well, let's just say the dough didn't cooperate. It was more like a pizza pancake. But hey, you learn by doing, right?
Exactly. And speaking of learning, that's actually perfect for today's topic.
Oh yeah. So today, we're going to talk about something we're really passionate about. We're busting myths about learning English.
That's right. We've taught English to so many students over the years, and we keep hearing the same myths over and over again.
Yeah, and these myths, these false beliefs, they can actually make learning English way harder than it needs to be.
So we wanted to set the record straight and share some truths that might really surprise you.
Things that your textbooks might not tell you, or things that even some teachers get wrong.
We want to help you feel better about your English learning journey and show you what really works.
So, if you're ready to learn some surprising truths about learning English, let's dive in. Okay, myth number 1. This is huge. You need to learn perfect grammar before you can speak English.
Oh my gosh, we hear this so much from our students.
I know. They say things like, I can't speak yet, I need to study more grammar first.
And we're like, no, that's backwards.
Totally backwards. Emma, tell them what we always see happen.
Okay, so we have students who spend months, even years, just studying grammar rules. They do exercises, they memorize verb tenses.
They can explain the difference between present perfect and past perfect.
Right, but then when we ask them to have a simple conversation, they freeze up.
Because they've never actually practiced speaking.
Exactly. All that grammar knowledge is in their head, but they can't use it in real time.
It's like learning all the rules of basketball, but never actually playing the game.
Perfect analogy. You have to get on the court and practice.
And here's something that might surprise our listeners. Even native English speakers make grammar mistakes all the time.
Oh, constantly.
Give them an example.
Okay, how many times have you heard someone say, me and my friend went to the movies?
All the time. My cousin says it like that every single time.
And technically, it should be, my friend and I went to the movies.
Right, but everyone still understands what he means. Communication happens successfully.
Exactly. Or here's another one. People say, I could care less, when they actually mean, I couldn't care less.
Yes, that drives grammar purists crazy, but it's super common.
The point is, if native speakers make mistakes and still communicate effectively, why should learners stress about being perfect?
They shouldn't. There's actually a great expression for this. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good.
Ooh, I love that phrase. Let me explain it for our listeners. It means don't wait for everything to be perfect before you try something.
Because if you wait for perfect, you might never actually do anything.
Right. In language learning, if you wait until your grammar is perfect before speaking, you'll never start speaking.
And the irony is, the only way to get better at speaking is to actually speak.
Yes, make mistakes, learn from them, and improve. That's the real path to fluency.
So, myth number 1, busted. You do not need perfect grammar before speaking. In fact, you should start speaking from day 1. All right, myth number 2. There's only one correct English accent, and you need to sound exactly like a native speaker.
Ugh, this one makes me so frustrated.
Tell them why.
Because it's such a narrow view of what English is. English is a global language now.
Absolutely. It's spoken on every continent by billions of people.
And you know what? Most English conversations in the world happen between non-native speakers.
That's actually true, like someone from Japan doing business with someone from Brazil, both speaking English.
Exactly. So this idea that you need to sound exactly like someone from California or London is just outdated.
And even within the United States, we have so many different accents.
Oh my gosh, yes. Alex, you grew up in the South, right?
Yep, Georgia.
And I grew up in Minnesota. We sound pretty different.
Totally. I say things like y'all and fixin' to, like I'm fixin' to go to the store.
And in Minnesota, we have that sing-song equality, and we say things like, oop, and you betcha.
Right. And neither of us is speaking wrong English, we're just speaking with our regional accents.
Exactly. And it's the same in Britain. Someone from Scotland sounds completely different from someone from London.
Or Australia, or South Africa, or India. There are so many varieties of English.
And they're all legitimate. They're all real English.
You know what we tell our students? We say, your goal isn't to sound like us.
Right. Your goal is to be clear and understandable.
If people can understand you, your accent is working just fine.
And honestly, accents are cool. They show where you're from. They're part of your identity.
Absolutely. I think accents are interesting. When I hear someone speaking English with a French accent or a Japanese accent, I think it sounds great.
Me too. It adds flavor to the language.
So, our message to listeners is this. Don't stress about your accent. Focus on pronunciation that helps people understand you.
Yes, work on clear pronunciation of individual sounds, but don't try to erase your accent completely.
Your accent tells your story. It shows that you're multilingual, which is actually really impressive.
Exactly. So myth number 2, busted. There's no single correct accent. All accents are valid.
Okay, here's myth number 3. You must study grammar rules for hours every day to become fluent.
Oh boy, this one leads to so much burnout.
Right? We see students who make these intense study schedules, like 3 hours of grammar every single day.
And then after 2 weeks, they're exhausted and they quit completely.
Because it's not sustainable. And honestly, it's not even the most effective approach.
Not at all. Here's what we've observed after years of teaching. The students who improve fastest aren't the ones studying grammar textbooks all day.
Nope. They're the students who are actually using English.
Yes, they're watching Netflix shows in English, listening to music, reading articles about topics they care about.
Having conversations with friends, writing in English journals, playing video games in English.
All of that counts as learning. It's not just sitting with a grammar book.
In fact, that kind of immersive learning is often more effective than grammar study.
Want to know why?
Tell us.
Because when you're watching a show or having a conversation, you're seeing grammar in context.
Oh, that's such a good point. You're seeing how people actually use these structures in real life.
Exactly. Not just, here's the present perfect formula, but actually hearing someone say, have you seen that movie yet?
And your brain starts to internalize the patterns naturally.
Right. This is actually how we learned English as kids, not by studying rules, but by hearing and using the language.
So, what's the right balance? We get asked this question a lot.
I'd say maybe 20-30% grammar study and 70-80% actual use and exposure.
That sounds about right. Some grammar study is helpful. It gives you a framework.
But most of your time should be spent actually engaging with the language.
Listening, reading, speaking, writing, all of that is learning.
And here's a pro tip. Study grammar when you notice you need it.
Ooh, explain that.
Okay, so let's say you're watching a show and you keep hearing would have done something and you're confused about what it means.
Right.
That's the perfect time to look up the third conditional because now you have a real reason to learn it.
That's so much more effective than just memorizing random grammar rules you might never use.
Exactly. Learn grammar that solves real problems you're having.
I love that approach. It makes grammar study purposeful instead of just abstract.
And it's way more motivating. You can immediately apply what you learned.
So, myth number 3, busted. You don't need to study grammar for hours every day. Focus on balance and practical use.
Okay, this next one is really interesting. Myth number 4, children learn languages better than adults, so if you're an adult, it's too late.
We hear this one constantly. Oh, I wish I had learned English as a kid.
I know, and people really believe they've missed their chance.
But here's the truth. This myth is only partially true, and it's way more complicated than people think.
Yes, so let's break this down. Children do have some advantages.
Right, like they might pick up native-like pronunciation more easily.
Their brains are more flexible for learning new sounds. It's harder for adults to hear and reproduce sounds that don't exist in their native language.
like the th sound in English. That's really hard for a lot of adult learners.
Exactly. But here's what people don't realize. Adults have huge advantages that children don't have.
Tell them.
Okay, first of all, adults have way better learning strategies.
Yes, we can understand abstract explanations. We can see patterns and make connections.
A child can't really understand a grammar explanation, right? But an adult can read, "This is how the present perfect works," and grasp it immediately.
That's such a good point. Adults are more efficient learners in many ways.
Second advantage, adults have clear motivation.
Oh, absolutely. You know why you're learning English, maybe for your career, or to travel, or to connect with people.
That goal-oriented motivation is powerful. Children are just absorbing language around them without that focused drive.
Plus, adults have life experience and knowledge about the way the world works.
Yes, we already understand concepts like time, cause and effect, social relations.
We just need to learn how to express those concepts in English.
Exactly. A child is learning the concepts and the language at the same time.
Here's something really interesting. There's research showing that adults actually learn languages faster than children in the beginning stages.
Really?
Yeah, because of all those advantages we just mentioned. Adults are more efficient.
So where does this myth come from?
I think it's because children who grow up bilingual end up with perfect native-like fluency.
Right, but they also spend like 10, 15 years immersed in the language all day, every day.
Exactly. If you gave an adult that same amount of immersion time, they'd probably reach similar levels.
So it's not really about age, it's about the amount and type of exposure.
Bingo. So, when students tell us, "I'm too old to learn English," we say,
No, you're not. You can absolutely learn English at any age.
"The oldest student I ever taught was 72, and he became conversational within a year."
That's amazing. See, age is not a barrier.
The real barriers are things like time, motivation, and access to resources.
And those are things you can control.
So, myth number 4, busted. Adults can absolutely learn languages effectively. You haven't missed your chance.
All right, last myth. You need to live in an English-speaking country to become fluent.
This is such a common belief, and we understand why people think it.
Yeah, it makes sense on the surface. If you're surrounded by English, you'll learn English, right?
Well, yes and no. Living in an English-speaking country can help, but it's not necessary.
Not at all. We've met so many people who became fluent without ever leaving their home country.
And we've also met people who lived in the US for years and still struggled with English.
Oh yeah, I had a neighbor who lived in America for 7 years and could barely have a conversation.
How is that possible?
Because she only spoke her native language at home, only hung out with people from her country, only watched TV in her native language.
Ah, so even though she was physically in America, she wasn't really using English.
Exactly. She created a bubble around herself.
This shows that just being in an English-speaking country isn't enough. You have to actively engage with the language.
Right, and the flip side is you can actively engage with English anywhere in the world now.
Thank you, Internet.
Seriously, the internet has completely changed language learning.
You can watch American TV shows, British news, Australian YouTubers.
You can listen to podcasts like this one.
Exactly. You can read English news sites, blogs, books on your phone.
You can find language exchange partners and video chat with native speakers.
You can join online communities, play video games with English speakers from around the world.
You can even change your phone's language to English and force yourself to use it every day.
That's actually a great tip. Create immersion at home.
Yes, you can build your own English environment wherever you are.
It takes discipline and intentionality, but it's totally possible.
And honestly, learning at home might even have advantages over moving abroad.
How so?
Well, you have more control over your learning pace and the content you use.
Oh, that's true. If you move to an English-speaking country, everyone speaks fast, uses slang, talks about local politics and culture.
It can be overwhelming, but when you create your own immersion at home, you can start with easier content.
You can watch shows with subtitles, listen to podcasts for learners, read articles at your level.
And gradually increase the difficulty as you improve.
That's a really smart, structured approach.
So our message is, don't wait until you can move to America or England or Australia.
Start learning now, wherever you are.
Use the incredible resources available online.
And if you ever do get the chance to live abroad, that's great, but it's not a requirement for fluency.
So, myth number 5, busted. You do not need to live in an English-speaking country to become fluent.
Okay, so we've busted 5 big myths. Now let's talk about what actually does work for learning English.
Yes, let's give our listeners some real, practical advice based on what we've seen work with our students.
Tip number 1, consistency beats intensity.
Yes, it's way better to study 20 minutes every single day than to cram for 3 hours once a week.
Your brain needs regular exposure to the language to really absorb it.
Think of it like watering a plant. A little bit every day works better than flooding it once a week.
Great analogy. Okay, tip number 2, consume content you actually enjoy.
This is huge. Don't force yourself to watch boring news if you hate it.
Right. If you love cooking, watch cooking shows in English. If you love fashion, follow fashion YouTubers.
If you love gaming, watch gaming streams in English.
When you're interested in the content, learning doesn't feel like work.
And you'll stick with it longer, which brings us back to consistency.
Exactly. Tip number 3, speak from day 1, even if you're scared.
Yes, remember myth number 1, you don't need to be perfect to start speaking.
Find opportunities to use English out loud. Talk to yourself, find a language partner, join conversation groups online.
Even just reading out loud helps. It gets your mouth used to making English sounds.
Tip number 4, focus on comprehension first.
Ooh, explain this one.
Okay, so when you're starting out, focus more on understanding English than producing perfect English.
That makes sense. Input before output.
Right. Listen a lot, read a lot, build up your comprehension.
And then speaking and writing will come more naturally because you've internalized patterns.
Exactly. This is actually how babies learn. They understand way before they speak.
Good point. And tip number 5, be patient and celebrate small wins.
This is so important. Language learning is a marathon, not a sprint.
You're not going to be fluent in 3 months, and that's okay.
Progress isn't always linear either. Sometimes you'll feel like you're improving quickly, other times you'll feel stuck.
That's completely normal. Those plateaus happen to everyone.
So celebrate the small victories. Hey, I understood a whole conversation, or I learned a new word and used it correctly.
Those little wins add up over time.
And remember, every fluent speaker you've ever met was once a beginner.
They struggled, they made mistakes, they felt frustrated.
But they kept going, and that's what made the difference.
And you can do it too.
All right, let's do a quick recap of the 5 myths we busted today.
Myth 1, you don't need perfect grammar before you start speaking. Jump in and make mistakes.
Myth 2, there's no single correct accent. Your accent is fine as long as you're understandable.
Myth 3, you don't need to study grammar for hours every day. Balance is key. Study some, but focus more on actual use.
Myth 4, adults can learn languages just as well as children. You haven't missed your chance.
And myth 5, you don't need to live in an English-speaking country to become fluent. Create immersion wherever you are.
So, to all our listeners out there, don't let these myths hold you back.
Yeah, you're capable of learning English, no matter your age, where you live, or what your accent sounds like.
The fact that you're listening to this podcast right now shows you're already on the right track.
Absolutely. You're getting exposure to natural English, you're learning useful information, and you're building your listening skills.
Keep doing what you're doing. Keep practicing, keep making mistakes, and keep learning from them.
We hope this episode helped you feel more confident about your English learning journey.
Remember, you've got this.
See you next time.
Bye, everyone.